On this episode of the Digital Fireside, we talk about Luke's newly married life, World of Warcraft Classic, Gears 5, and we take a deep dive into the Ben Drown fanfiction community. And it turns out just about as well as you'd expect. This is pretty... Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode of the Digital Fireside. I am joined by a newly married man, Luke Yurden. This is for radio. They can't see you waving at the... Well, they could, but analytics show that we get like 60% more people who listen on Spotify than watch YouTube.
What's up, guys?
Thank you. Jesus.
Hey.
Took you 30 seconds.
Woo, woo.
How you doing, man?
Radio silence. What's good, boy?
Plays
That's
really
good.
well. All right, and you blew out the mic. Okay.
Well, we want to make some noise. I am happy I'm married, but yeah, it was a good time.
Okay, so to back up a little bit, since Luke did a terrible job at sinking into that, Luke got married. And it was a... You fucking Yoshi now?
Yeah. That's Mario. Ow. There you go.
Luke got married. How many days ago?
2 weeks now.
So it's been a little bit.
Well, it's been... Well, this is
sure?
going to be the second week.
Yeah, I was about to say. It didn't feel
So
like
September
that long.
7th. So
September 7th. Okay. So it's been a little bit of time
a
here.
little bit
About
over a
10
week.
days.
Yeah.
Ish, give or take a day or two. It was fun. The wedding was great. Ceremony made me tear up a little bit. So you walk down that aisle. I'm just like... God,
all the way there.
Can't believe
back.
I was late to my friend's wedding.
Yeah, I
but-
can't believe it either.
Yeah.
I was looking around, surveying the audience. I was like, wait a minute.
Well, we had to do...
I don't see some 10-foot giant out there.
We had to get parking, and you had a wedding the same day as some convention
Yeah.
downtown. What
A
was
convention, it was like GothCon.
Goth-
Like
I saw a lot of, like-
Halloween
it?
characters.
Yeah,
and
I saw
stuff.
it was like a horror-themed... like
HorrorCon. HorrorCon, that's what it is, yeah.
HorrorCon, okay.
Not HorrorCon.
HorrorCon. It looked kind of like a little bit like HorrorCon. That's how
HorrorCon.
usually those cons go anyway.
No, but there actually was, I thought you were going to say, before that, I thought you were going to say that there was another person's wedding. There was 2 weddings going on, receptions going on in the Scottish Rite at
Really?
the same time.
Oh, my God.
We had the bigger room.
Okay. Well, that's what matters. I mean,
That's what
it's all about
matters.
Luke and his day. Luke and
Just
Molly.
swinging it around.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well, thank God I got there late then. So congratulations to Luke and Molly for that.
Yeah, thanks.
That was a ton of fun. I hadn't been to a big Catholic wedding in a long time. I used to cover weddings as a
right.
videographer, and I always hated the Catholic weddings because they take forever. So I was really pleasantly surprised to not have to work one and to just be there as like a guest and just be like,
Soak it in.
I know that guy. He's getting married. I know those two. I know those two. And it was really moving.
Do you miss that?
What?
I mean, I know you don't. You just said you don't like the big, but do you miss like the because our videographers and photographers they made a good amount of coin working that one day of the year, and they had obviously other events to do. But
Dude, those are if they are anything like what I was doing when I was doing videography, that is a full-time job. They are there from like 7 a.m. to like midnight,
Right.
covering every little happen.
it's one day. I mean,
Yeah.
it's their business. They have like 2 other businesses,
Sure.
but they are married, so
Sure.
like, it's not like it's going to like 50% Alex, 50% Luke. It's like
Oh, I see.
100% going to that house.
Okay.
So that's also a plus.
I
But
guess, yeah.
it's like they made some good money off of just one wedding. I can only imagine like they have some engagement photos or another wedding to do this month, or maybe just a birthday party. I don't know what the hell rich people spend. Professional photography.
Well, they're kind of coming out of season here soon because it's going to hit winter in a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, that's nice that they're together and doing that business because I remember it was really cutthroat that we always were competing with the photographer.
Mm-hmm.
And the photographers generally get paid a lot better than the videographers because typically when people are planning weddings, they kind of budget out funds for the photographer or whatever, and then whatever's left over after everything else, you say, oh, well, let's give video too, which I don't understand that. Video kind of captures it way more, I feel like, than just a photo. But that's just me.
Well,
Maybe
I
I'm
mean,
just biased.
I don't
But
know.
We usually got the scraps, and they got paid probably like 2 or 3 times
The reason why
as
is
much.
photos are more accessible when you're like, hey, Luke, can I see some pictures or whatever?
2019. Are you kidding? It's like
Either way, but like if you come over to my house and you're like, hey, let's go look back on that day, what's gonna be easier to go get? Oh, wait, let me go get my thumb drive or my DVD player.
It's let me get my phone.
Or I could be
You
like-
are thinking about what your parents
Or-
have to do,
or-
why it made sense for them.
No,
this is
I'm not thinking about my phone.
2019.
I would rather have like I'm talking about professional videos and professional photos.
You're
You
triggering
can't.
the fuck out of me right
You
now.
can't.
This is professional.
You can't compete with the two, like phones, I don't care how updated they get, they can't compete with a professional photo. You know that.
They absolutely can. What are you
No, they
talking about?
cannot.
A professional
And
photo.
video, a professional video, it cannot compete with an iPhone video. It's not the same.
I don't know, man.
You can look at it. I could show you, right?
Again, this
My
is
phone's
this is
using
audio. This is generally an audio format.
But I'm saying I could show you right now the difference between the friends that were there that posted their photos and what our professional photos look like. They're completely different.
No. Don't
even though it's the
do
same
not get me
thing.
wrong. Like there is a night and day. That's not what I was saying at all. Because there's a night and
thing
day
with
difference
video.
between a professionally done photographer.
That's what I'm saying.
And just some.
like
I'm
when I go
saying
show
that
you,
if
like,
you had
the-
to choose between a professionally done photographer and a professionally done videographer, I would pick a videographer. That's
instead
what I'm
of.
saying. Instead of.
Okay.
I am not saying, oh my God, please, for the love of God.
So I
I'm
thought
not
you were tripping
saying.
balls there. I was like, what?
No.
It's like this guy's done lost
There,
it.
wa-
The fuck?
okay, there was a woman who was sitting in the back because we came in late. We were in the back pew, and there was a woman in front of us who the entire time had her phone out and just was like snapping pictures. And I was just like, I think they got a person for that. I don't think you have to do that because she was
They actually
blocking.
prefer you not to do that.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. And she was blocking our view, and I'm just like, okay, this is cool. This is what I get. Yeah, just like
I'm really
Smile,
close.
smile,
I'm really
honey.
close to the family. That's why I'm way back.
yeah, that's why you're the last damn row.
I'm here because I
Jesus.
came late.
Yeah, I'm here because I came late. I'd be sitting right next to Luke at this point.
Excuse me, Molly. This is my seat. Sorry. But the wedding was great. I mean, for people who haven't been married, and our viewers, which would be a lot of people probably because they're younger binge round fanatics. You know, but
I think we're growing out of that audience a little bit. Although,
they're all growing up. But
unfortunately,
it's a weird feeling because when you're up there, it's really just the beginning and then it's like the beginning and the end. Everything in the middle, it's like not that you don't remember, but you don't feel anything during it. Kind of, yeah, you feel like the love or whatever. But I'm saying like you don't.
that fucking.
I'm saying you don't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying you don't feel it like you like. Most people think, oh, I'm nervous up there, but it's literally just like at the beginning, you're like.
You just gotta sit and say some lines,
Okay,
man.
I'm
It's
cool.
like the easiest cold read ever.
I'm cool. And all of a sudden, like, you hear the music, you're like, I'm not cool. I'm not cool. I'm like, and then once you see her, well, kind of I teared up. And then,
Yeah.
but then once you're sitting down, it's all like, kind of like you're back at mass with your family. You're just kind of sitting there enjoying it, you know. And then when you leave, it's like, all right, yeah, let's go party. But
I noticed you got a
remember the
little.
beginning.
What?
Did you know the beginning? So you got there late. How late did you get there? Did it already start? Did you already walk down?
Yeah, I missed the walk.
And what else did you see anything else? Because I have a story. Did you
No,
see anything else?
I like when I got here, you two were already sitting on the side there.
Oh my
And,
God, you missed it. It's
okay.
gonna be on video, I think.
Okay.
So real quick, we get up there. Molly just walks down. I take her from her dad. We walk up to the Monsignor, high priest, together. Everyone's still standing. No one sat down. Music stops. Right after that, because where St. John's is in Indianapolis, they provide homeless aid. So people come on the weekends and they're in that program where they get free meals and they help out clean or do something for them, and then they leave. Security somehow slipped up, and a guy comes through the front of the church.
Oh man!
So before Molly walks down, I'm back there with my best man.
Yeah.
We walk out from behind where they hide all the stuff, like the chalices and all that stuff. That's where the guy comes through, right? So he comes through there. So we don't see anything. We're standing just facing, the front of the church. Everyone's facing, and then the bridesmaids and the groomsmen are there. So we don't see him coming out because it's blocked by the brides and groomsmen. So he comes up behind them and then goes up, walks to on my side,
way.
walks in the front, does a gun motion to the priest with his fingers.
Next time, you.
Yeah, he does boom, and does that thing, and then he has a Louis Vuitton bag, and some Timbs.
What?
And cargo shorts, not shorts but pants, and he just boom starts going out, and then just flicks off the whole aisle as he's going
You are
down.
fucking
I'm
with me
not
right
lying.
now. No.
The whole aisle. It's gonna be on video, and then he goes out, and then our usher, shout out Jeff, our usher gets him out of there. He does come back, but I'm saying at the time, everyone didn't think we saw. I thought it was just a maintenance guy, maybe giving him a thumbs up of I fixed whatever spill or whatever the hell happened. No, this is what everyone's telling me. And I was like, did you see that guy? Did you see that guy? We saw him. I was like, I didn't think he was
What?
Turns out he was a meth head guy, a meth head homeless guy. with a Louis bag. But he does come back at the end when we're walking out. He put a turban on. He was white.
Okay.
He put a turban on and was like, oh my God. He just like did all this stuff. It didn't make sense. It wasn't like actual religious stuff. It was just like gibberish. So that's why I was doing, that's what it sounded like. And everyone's like, what the hell?
Well, I think in Ireland that's considered a good luck sign at a wedding. It's like a good luck token to have a crazy meth head.
It's for the people out there,
you want that.
When they tell you something wrong will happen at your wedding, you better believe it because something will happen. And that was ours. Everything else went off without a hitch.
That's awesome, man.
But it wasn't awesome because in today's day and age, do you think that'd be awesome? Like,
I missed that.
At the time, I didn't think about it, but at the same time, I'm like, damn, we could have all died.
Oh, no. He would have killed, like, maybe the priest and, like, gotten a few other people before they could
You think he owed him money or something? Is that what
Probably. Yeah. It's like, hey, I saw you taking out the confession. Or the, whatever.
It's like,
pilfer, whatever. I'm not Catholic, so I don't know. But
yeah, it was a crazy thing. I'm surprised you missed that, but it was just like...
I am too.
After that, I was like, yo, great start, guys. Like, this is going to be a great marriage.
The only thing I was going to point out and give you a hard time for is that I thought when he started asking you to say your vows to Molly, either you had like stage fright or you mumbled a little bit or something. And he was like, speak up. It's like, dude, you're playing for keeps. Speak up.
No, there's two things. In the rehearsal, I was not paying attention at all. The day before.
It's your wedding. Like, what do you mean you're not paying attention?
My best friends are around and fucking around doing whatever.
Oh, my God.
But what happened is that you're supposed to say like 3 answers. They're very simple. First grade answers. It's like, that's not exactly what it is, so don't kill me in the comments if it's not right. It's like I am, I will, and I must, or something like that. Stuff like that. Something. Another word. 2 words, so 6 words total.
All right.
I forgot those. That's why I was so silent the first time. So I was like, because we're supposed to say it together.
Yeah.
And it was like, I am. I was like, oh shit, I said the wrong one. And then it's like, I will. I was like, oh fuck. So that's why the second time, for a different response, like you're just supposed to repeat after him, like the long one.
Yeah.
He's like, in a loud voice. I was like, well, I got it now. Like, Jesus, I just didn't. Father. Like when you told me to remember, I haven't studied in years. Like, come on, man, I haven't had homework in a while. But it was a good time. Yeah, it's not. It's very much a really strange feeling because we've been together for 10 years now.
Yeah.
But, so like we really woke up Sunday where it's like, so that was cool. It's like when you go to Vegas. It's like when you go to Vegas. It's like you go there, it's a blur. You leave, you're like, that was great. But I guess that was that. It's just like, it's over. It's cool.
I get it.
Good. Our lives are exactly the same that it was Friday.
Right. So then you had the reception after that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, God, where the hell was it?
Scotch, right.
Where was the wedding?
St. John's.
St. John's, okay. And that was a ton of fun. I got to meet Pete Baddick.
Yeah.
I'm saying it right.
He's a good guy.
I had a little bit of a fumble when I was up there because I was thinking in my head like, okay, this guy named Pete keeps writing in, and he's got a name that you've pointed out before, which I'm sure like got old in the 3rd grade for him. It's like, okay, guys, I fucking get it. But
I know where you're going with this.
And so it's like, okay, well, here's something funny. Here's a little wordplay we could do next time he writes into the podcast. I'm like, okay, it's like Pete Baddick. Pete Bad Dick, and then it's like, oh, Pete Awful Penis, like synonyms, right? So
Pete is also a dick. Peter.
Right. We did this. Yeah. We already, but like.
I'm just letting you know.
Right. So when we go up there, and Luke is like introducing me to all his friends, and I'm seeing a bunch of repeats that I've seen before, which is great to see those guys again. And I finally meet Pete. I'm like, oh my God, you're Pete Awful Dick. And I'm like.
Wait for the applause.
Wait for the applause. And he gives me this like confused kind of like, hey, yeah, dude. Yeah, I am. We're at a fucking wedding. Do you mind? I'm like, oh.
I'm trying to get some.
Yeah. It's like I'm trying to like talk to this girl here. Can you not just like throw a wrench into my plans, please? So I felt pretty terrible about that. And that legit like was one of those things like shit. Because I was wanting to like meet him and like I was up that night.
Stupid Alex, I blew it.
I was up that night. I'm like. Fuck, I hope he doesn't hate me for the rest of my life.
He's going to be that anonymous user.
Nothing?
Nothing really changes except...
You got signed shit
You're going to wear this all the time. It was kind of weird at first, but now I'm getting used to it after a week of wearing it. It hurt like hell the first 3 days. Like, it hurt so bad. I was like, had to take it off and on. I was like, God, this is annoying. I don't know how people just sleep in it and get up and do it, but I have to take it off every night still, but it's getting better. I'm getting used to it.
That's good. So you're adjusting.
Really weird. Yeah, I'm adjusting. Okay. But yeah, it's other things really not really different, but I mean, we still play video games, do all that shit together. So it's not like we're married now, we got to throw everything away. No kid stuff. It's
well,
like, that stuff. Like we still
Well, I've seen your guys' place.
We still do that, yeah.
I have a healthy appreciation for your guys' man cave that you got going there.
Yeah, it's a good stuff. She's in there more than I am, actually.
Really?
Believe it or not, yeah.
She's a keeper. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out to Molly. Molly Curidan. Is she taking your last name?
She is, yeah.
Nice.
It's a good time.
So while you were, wasting your time getting married, I was being productive and playing World of Warcraft Classic. And
that atrocity.
I've got mixed feelings on that thing, man.
You were old enough for the Leroy stuff.
Yeah. I was probably...
So, like, what if he just came back online?
11 or 12. Well, no, because there was different servers. They have new servers and all that stuff.
But I'm saying, like, what if he just started twitching? Like, I'm Leroy Jenkins and joined me on... Do you think you'd get, like, a shit ton of followers?
I bet you would.
Like, join me on Twitch. I'm playing today.
Done that, honestly.
Classic. And I'm going to raid the same place we worked so hard to raid, and I fucked it up. I'll fuck it up again. But yeah, you were playing it.
I was. It is... It is interesting. The first few days, because I came in right when it launched, and those first few days of it were really something else, man. It was really cool to see all this stuff that I hadn't seen in like probably a decade again, and
so
going out in the world.
A remake or is it a remaster?
No, it's
just like the same thing.
It's the exact same thing for the most part. It's the exact same thing as it was back in like 2006 or 2007.
Just like with the little patches, maybe some updates.
No, because they have this very, let's say, adamant crowd that doesn't want any kind of changes whatsoever. Because there's a lot of contention that the reason why World of Warcraft kind of dropped off the map was like they introduced all these new mechanics that isolated players and kind of made it more of a single-player game as opposed to like a multiplayer game. And I rolled on this. I made a character on this. RP PvP server, which basically means is that it's like a server for people to like do these really crazy like server events on, and also fight other people. So I made a character on that and just kind of played around for a little bit. I had like a shaman on there. There was a lot of really cool events of like people running like army drills and like so you get some really crazy people because you basically take the people that played 15 years ago. You age them 15 years. And all kinds of weird stuff that they're into now, and they come back and all conquered in this area. And they're like, some guy's done like 2 tours overseas, and comes like, I'm going to make an army guild. And he just has all these like Tauren running around doing these drill formations.
Yeah, when he first left, he was 15 and bright-eyed about the world.
Yeah.
Now he's back, grizzled.
Like jaded.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
Information, Megan!
But so the interesting thing is that they have been so adamant about this no changing anything that the game is 15 years old, and within 3 days, I think, of the game coming out, it came out on the 27th of August. Within like 3 or 4 days of it coming out, a guild had already like beaten the final boss and everything, which is supposed to take like months to kind of do normally.
But it's the same game, so you know exactly
where
to
go. It's the same damn game.
What to
yeah,
do,
so I'm just like why not update it a little? That was my own kind of thing.
Did you ever beat it?
No.
With your okay.
Because like back then, this was like way before the esports scene and all that kind of stuff.
The internet was not.
Yeah, internet wasn't good.
Wi-Fi.
People were like, I was running around in circles with my own orc guy. I was like, how do I fucking? I'm 12. How do I play this game? So I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I never got. I got like I think to the level cap, which is 60. I got to 60. I think I maybe stepped foot in one kind of raid, but I never like beat it. But like these people, within 72 hours, had beaten this game, and they're just like, okay, well, we're done here.
Yeah, I'm like, all right.
Well. So it's like, it's weird because I played it, and like there's a lot of really interesting design decisions that are different now that really show their age, to make it so that there's like this dopamine reward kind of rush with this game, that everything is not handed to you, that you have to you're always constantly working towards earning something, and whether that's earning the right to go to this new area to kind of like explore or level or whatnot because the travel speed is so slow, or whether it's earning this next piece of gear or something. A lot of the stuff felt more meaningful, and I really did enjoy it. And plus, kind of being a part of that zeitgeist was fun initially. Then you have everyone running. It was fun. Dude, it was chaos, man. Like, there were queue times of people like, the server that I initially rolled on had a queue time of 12,000 people on launch day, which was like, you need to wait in queue for 10 hours to get in to play this game.
That's kind of like Dauntless earlier this year. I had to get rid of it because I couldn't get on. Like, I'm sure you can get on now, but when it launched, I was like, dude, this game's going to be dope.
I don't think they even expected it to be this popular. Like, they were saying that somewhere it's around 4 million people were playing it. They just got census data back about a day or two ago.
It's a 15-year-old game.
Yeah, well, it was like, I don't know if you remember World of Warcraft.
It
was gigantic, man.
Huge.
Like, I heard about people talking about it at school, and no one at my school talked about video games until, like, that game came out.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like video games were definitely the medium between outside and YouTube. Because YouTube was just now coming around.
Kind of.
2005, I believe.
Well, at least the way...
And then 2007 it started becoming...
2006, maybe. I don't know. I put my first video on there in 2006.
I believe it was
maybe it's 2005. You might be right.
I know the first video was like the guy going to the zoo or whatever, the creator. It was like me at the zoo or something.
At the zoo.
Yeah. It's literally just like 5 seconds like, hey.
Devo.
Like, sick. I don't know. It might be most likely. But anyway, it was probably that medium because it's like, it's either you go outside, you do everything with your friends, blah, blah, blah. We all know the tale. Or you play video games and destroy, Sephiroth for the 13th millionth time. And now, I mean, what replaced that was World of Warcraft, which was bigger in life, so you could talk about it with your friends. So you didn't have, all in the loop about the sports and stuff anymore. Like, if you're not on the T-ball game, you can still talk about World of Warcraft because you can do it in your own time. And the YouTube, you can't see everything, so you can't just know about it. Yeah. If you don't play it, you don't know. So, like, it's different. So it's like that kind of link between the two. But now, like you said, like now... That's probably that sense of, like, what we were just talking about, the sense of, I want to say pride, of getting everything, like, you earned for everything, you were saying? Yeah. It was different back then. Again, all those people who know, they actually earn those hours, so that's how they can be that in 72 hours. The people who are just now playing it now are probably like, where the fuck do I go? There's no holding your hand. Like, press X to jump, or, like, the tutorials today, all that stuff. You just have to go in there, Leroy style, and hopefully not fuck it up.
Well, see, that's the saddest thing about it, because it's like, you're right, because that game has changed. The landscape around the game has changed so much in 15 years that there's, YouTube guides for everything in that game. It has been methodically and like
surgically.
It's a great word. Like surgically kind of dissected every little aspect of it. So to give you an example of this, I made a shaman, and I'm like, okay, well, I want to try and learn how to play my shaman a little bit better while I'm leveling, because leveling is fucking boring as shit in that game. It takes so long to get anything done. So I'm like, okay, I want to learn a bit more about this. So there's this guy. It's one of the first results when you look up Shaman Leveling Guide, Classic WoW or something like that. There's a guy who, he's probably in his 30s. He has made a 2-hour-long PowerPoint presentation about the methodical ins and outs of the shaman class, right down to like these weird mechanics that I'm like, oh, I guess you technically could do that with the game. And they're like talking about like server ticks and different parsing data and like I'm like, holy shit, I just want to hit things with a shovel. I want to fire Wind Fury stuff or whatever.
This guy.
But like that's what happens when you have such a game that has impacted so many people and has made such a difference in so many people's lives. And a lot of those people are nerds, and nerds like to get really into shit.
And now they have a platform where people will listen to it.
Yes.
But before it's just like, I'm saying a million words a second. I don't care. I'm not gonna listen to you. I'm gonna walk away. Now, you could pause me, where you could actually learn from me. Other nerds will be looking for me.
That's why I like
I'll get money off of it. It's a different world. You're right. It's a different world now, and it's the same love for it.
Yeah, but like the thing is that you have everyone now, instead of just being like the bright-eyed, young adventurer person out in the world, just like, oh shit, it's so mystical and so, there's this crazy world out here. You have these people who are just like these tunnel vision focused, like,
ruin it.
This is the most efficient way to do They have motherfuckers that are grouping up together and just running the same 30-minute dungeon over and over and over again because it's technically the most efficient way to get to level. I'm like, dude, you're missing the whole damn point in the game. But
I know what you mean. They're like mining, kind of like.
Everyone wants to be like a pro esports player now, and it's so obnoxious.
It would be dope. You can't tell me it wouldn't be dope.
It would be dope.
It would
but,
be dope.
If everyone is, then no one is. So like that's kind of the problem with it.
Syndrome.
I just saw that movie not too long ago.
There you go.
I can't be a super. So anyway, the whole saga kind of ends with me sort of falling off of playing it. I'm just like, this is. I got to like level 30, I think, and I began to realize, okay, to progress further, this requires a massive time investment. One that I can't really make now anymore.
No, you're not 12.
I'm not 12. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't have like 7 hours after getting off of school to like stay up late and play this goddamn game every day. I got stuff to do. I got world domination plans to enact and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, I'm like, okay, well that's kind of not as fun, but maybe I could kind of play it casually.
But then you lose your skill.
Yeah, then you kind of fall behind the leveling pack of people, and then it kind of gets like, then you have to play catch up. But the biggest thing to me, and I want to see how they handle this, because this is probably going to be the thing that I'm already off the train, but I think a lot of people are going to be kind of on the fence and waiting to see what happens with this. There is a mechanic that Blizzard used that wasn't in the original game called layering. And layering, the concept behind it was like, okay, we have much bigger server architecture now than we did back in 2004. So we can have a server full of like 6,000, 12,000 people. We couldn't back then. We could only have it with like 1,000, 2,000 people. The problem that lies within that, so even though the server can physically hold that many people, what happens to the game design that was based back in 2004 that remains unchanged when like 6,000 people try and kill the same boars over and over and over again? It's going to be fucking chaos. So like what they did...
They respawn. These poor boars.
You just look at it. I did see a scene like that when I started logging in for the first time. There's like this little dairy farm that you go to as an Alliance guy. It's like full of boars you need to find boar meat for. I go in there. It's just this fucking massacre of like thousands of dead fucking boars. Just
How many times must I die?
Just like there's like a child NPC there that wants like 4 boars for his pie, who's probably looking at this with like a 1,000-yard stare. It's like, no more boars, no boars.
There's gonna be those depressed boars like, I don't even care anymore.
Just fucking do it. I'll make the same scream as they like. That's actually pretty accurate. I'm sorry. So anyway, so to combat that problem, Blizzard kind of implemented this idea that each like world would have multiple layers on it. So like, say a server has 5,000 people, and say the quality of life of like, or the quality experience starts to drop off dramatically after about 1,000 people, and this is across the entire continent. So it's like, you have too many people in this area that no one can get anything done. People are not having fun. It's just a shit show. So what they do is they have these different layers that are like, okay, well, once this area reaches 500 people, new layer. So like basically, you're in the same area, but you're in a new instance.
Kind of like a new lobby.
Bingo. A new lobby is the perfect way to put it. So they had, and the technology, it works pretty well. And I didn't see any problems with it. They handled the launch of it pretty smoothly with the number stuff, I think. With the queue times, it's hard to kind of predict for a game that size to be that popular. But the issue they're running into now is that because you have these people that are ultra nerds that are trying to get to the bottom of like every...
Labeling.
Sorry.
2019, dude.
They're just nerds. They're not ultra nerds. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Ultron nerd.
They're trying to squeeze the most efficient way out of this that they can, is that they're using the layering system to basically... exploit it to farm a bunch of different like materials and stuff like that. Are you gonna cough?
No, it's the wheat drink I got going on.
Oh my god! All right. So basically, they're using this exploit to farm a bunch of different materials from bosses that should only get 1 kill. Period. Right. So it's like basically you're going through this little dungeon, right, in your own lobby. Mm-hmm. You kill the final boss. He has like a 5% chance to drop a good item that you can sell on the marketplace or whatever. You don't get him when you don't get it when he dies. You get something else. Right. And you're like, well, fuck. So what they do is they found a way to join a different layer, because each layer is a different instance of the world.
They're soft resetting without...
Yes, while they're still at the final boss. And so they just keep on killing him over and over and over again. So they're basically bypassing hundreds of hours of stuff.
Soft resetting has been around forever. Like getting shinies in Pokemon, or Borderlands getting the bee... shield.
Not at this level, though. I mean, I get it.
It's been around forever.
But this is like a clearly... So what's essentially done, it's broken the economy. So you basically have these people that are funneling hundreds of dollars of worth of gold into the economy, and everything's like... going to shit. Like you have people that are in gear that they shouldn't have for like feasibly like 2 or 3 more months from now, and so it's like it's interesting to see what happens. Like this, they announced like an emergency hotfix for it today.
So it's like shut down or something.
They start just like we're pulling all this shit down. Close it.
So are you going to give it more of a go after this update?
No, for me it doesn't seem feasible for me anymore. I mean, I got what I wanted. Like those first like 1 or 2 weeks were so much fun of playing that because it was like being a kid again. Like this was like familiar but nostalgic and all this kind of stuff. And there was a lot of really cool things that happened, like in terms of the player count.
That's like when I go and I play Mario Versus, so, like the the old Mario Bros. Yeah. But it wasn't like the Mario Bros. Our parents grew up with. Right. It was like the Mario Bros. Like the blue, and like you have green, like Luigi and Mario, and they're like, fighting each other, not kind of the same thing, but it wasn't like the normal levels. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And at the PAL box in the middle. Yeah. It was kind of like when I went back and played that the other week. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I remember this other thing, and then all of a sudden, like 3 minutes later, I'm like, all right, I'm done. Like this was cool. Not as fun as I remember. Yeah. I couldn't imagine being an adult liking this one. But there's another game that I'm actually interested in if you're continuing. Okay. Speaking of continuation, have you... No, I know you haven't finished, but have you continued your journey through Sekiro?
No.
Or have you just said, fuck this game, it's too hard?
Dude, I get so anxious when I play that game. I streamed it for a bit, and I got to this like monk area, like with the trees. And like there's like this little button you can press where he slowly rolls down this crank and like a flag or a kite comes in, and I don't know what the fuck that does. It doesn't do anything.
But this is one of those games like kind of similar to World of Warcraft where if you don't look online now though, you won't like exploring that world is actually kind of hard because one, no matter where you go, something's gonna kill you. Yeah. And two, there's no like real map for it, kind of. There's not like a real like okay, I can go here and here like Zelda or something. It's there's like so like I didn't find out until like 14 deaths at the beginning of the game, like when you first have to fight that like first troll in front of the gate, like that you could use like the flame arm or whatever, the flamethrower in your arm. I was like, well, where the fuck do I get that? Yeah. So I look online. It's like, oh, it's like way back there. You take a right instead of straight, and then like hide behind the portal, and you'll go to a different world and a different time period. I'm like, well, what? Yeah. How the fuck am I supposed to? Like, I was wondering, like, 'cause I saw some things in here. I'm like, he doesn't have all the upgrades. Like, so how is he gonna get through this fucking?
Well, I don't. Like, that's your bad. Alex doesn't. He just gives up.
Continue that shit.
He stops playing it. Yeah, the game was so fun, and I respect it, but I don't know. I just haven't gotten around to it. I was playing a little bit of Gears 5. Yeah. I posted a GIF.
A little 5-second.
It was like a 5-second clip off of Twitch of a stream that I did. Infuriating.
This guy. Like, this guy's doing combat rolls, getting behind cover, shooting the guy 20 times in the head, and then that pops up.
Yeah. You should have heard the voice chat on that. But, like, I was so fucking mad. I was like, this is bullshit. So, basically, if you haven't seen my Twitter, there's a match in Gears 5. Because I played Gears with my good buddies Stevie and Kevin from way back in the day.
Stevie and
Kevin! We would get on after school and all play. I think it was like freshman or sophomore year. The original Gears. And we got pretty good at it. And that was a ton of fun. And so I hadn't played any Gears game since probably Gears 3. So it's been, 8 years really. And I hopped on. I started playing a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay, it's kind of fun. It's new generation. That's always tough, I think, with the kind of transitions. Like,
they try to implement new things from like new shooters around them. But
you got like a new cast of characters, and like you got Baird, who was my favorite in the original trilogy. He's like bald and wearing a lab coat now, except he looks ridiculous because he's like buff as shit. He's like,
is he like, what's his name from Pokemon? Like Blaine?
No, his name's Baird.
I know, but you say he's bald. He's wearing a lab coat. And he's buff as shit. I mean. What's going on here?
Yeah, he looks really goofy. And, like, Marcus is a crabby old man, and he just, whatever. So I was playing the campaign. The co-op stuff is kind of cool. And then I hop on over to multiplayer because I'm like, okay, let's try it out. They got these new modes. Let's see how it works. That game, I was instantly reminded of how and why I stopped playing that game multiplayer. Because, like, I see all these tools, and I'm trying to play it like a Tom Clancy Advanced Warfighter, or like whatever that game was where it was like a Full Spectrum Warrior or something way back when, where like you take cover behind a chest high wall, you pop out with your machine gun, you do covering fire, you do all this because the mechanics are there, and in the campaign they work.
Not,
But dude, the fucking problem is with multiplayer, you have these fucking Adderall addicted 12-year-old kids zooming around, bouncing off walls, running up to you with a shotgun, and just
throwing the grenade, shooting the bullet off the grenade, fucking sniping.
Yeah, and like the GIF that I posted was like this last match that made me like just say, all right, that's enough Gears 5 for me, and I was doing all these like tactical maneuvers, like just I was putting cover fire on this guy way over here, and I run over here, and I'm getting ready to pop out, and so this Zoomer 12-year-old kid just starts. They did this thing called the roadie run, where like you do your head down, you're just like running as fast as you can. And he is like 30 yards away, and he just starts charging him. Like, dude, what an idiot! So I reload, I pop up with my assault rifle, and I unload on this guy. Like, I'm talking like the entire magazine damn near. He runs through every single bullet, dives towards me, and just shoots me once with a shotgun, and I'm dead. And on the kill screen, it says, Alex, or whatever my gamer tag is, I connect with 10 hits. Okay. This guy. To be fair, so I missed a lot of my shots. I'm not great at the game. Okay. But I connect.
That one, I should have got that one.
I feel like if you shoot someone 10 times with an assault rifle, because it goes 10 shots, 10 hits, 94% damage. Then on the other side, it shows the person who killed me, he goes 1 hit, 100% damage. It's like, fuck!
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
2 things. One, have you ever seen Tropic Thunder?
Yes.
And it just pointed out to me last time I saw it. Austin, you saw him a couple times when it's 4th of July.
Oh, yeah, Austin.
But he pointed out to me, watched Tropic Thunder when he was last here. At the end, when McConaughey throws the what you call it,
the kid,
the briefcase or whatever to save him from the missile launcher from the helicopter or whatever, and then they're flying away because they made it out.
Oh yeah.
And it shows McConaughey leaving. Did you ever notice how fast he gets the fuck out of there?
No.
Go back and watch the ending. Like, I'm sure it'll show up on YouTube, like McConaughey speed or something like that. It's clearly computer animated, and he goes just like, and he goes, yeah, woohoo, and then he goes. Just like the Flash or something. So I was reminded of that little kid, but at the same time, it also reminds me of you're talking about how like these kids, things have changed, times have changed, man.
We're old men now.
You can't just cover and shoot anymore. It's like it's just a funny thing. Cause you're like, back in my day, this used to be the running gun.
I'm having. I don't think Gears 1 was. That was the reason I stopped playing Gears 1 competitively too, because it was the same fucking shit. And I'm like, well, why even put the assault rifle in if you're not gonna whatever.
Gears.
And so I'm like, you know what? Maybe video games just aren't for me anymore in general. Maybe I should stick to like Civ 5 and those slower paced ones.
Oh my god!
Someone gifted me Stellaris the other day. I might give that a shot. It's like it's like a space simulator thing.
Do you not do Minecraft? I feel like you'd be like a Minecrafty Dragon Quest Builders guy. I really like Dragon Quest Builders.
You talked about it last time.
Yeah, I do like Dragon Quest Builders. Slower paced ones.
I might give Destiny 2 a shot actually.
Now
it's going
now
free
that's
to play
like
tomorrow.
$10. Oh yeah, free to play. There you go.
Yeah.
I've never been good at shooters, so I never really give shooters a chance. When I see a shooter, the only shooter I ever give a chance because it's single player and mostly campaign. Well, it's not single player, but you can play the whole game single. Is Borderlands series. That's the only game.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only like one that I've been consistently okay to good at. Not really great or anything like that. Not pro, but I don't really do shooters. Shooters are not my thing. For Exhibit A and B, C, D, E, F, and G. I don't know. My stuff is more RPG or fighting. So
yeah.
Because you're like you're a big Dragon Ball Fighters guy. And
well, see, that's the thing is like my reflexes. I still got my reflexes because I'm decently good at Dragon Ball Fighters. I'm like up to they have different tiers. I think I'm at like Super Saiyan 3 or something like that. I'm not great, but like I'm not like terrible at the game. But just the shooting stuff. I think the thing with Gears is that I think in order to kill someone with the assault rifle, you got to like hit every shot, and then with the shotgun, you only got to hit one. It's easy to hit people with a shotgun, and I'm just like, okay.
That's what it was. It reminded me of that example you gave me you just said with your story. You've seen Semi-Pro too, with Will Ferrell.
Is it the ice skating one?
It's the basketball one. Well, they're in like a semi-pro basketball league, and it's funny because. And if you haven't seen it, sorry, just like skip 20 seconds. It's funny because like they invent the alley-oop mid-game, and it takes place in like the 70s. Alley-oop is not a thing yet. It's kind of like that's kind of like how you felt with these new players doing this crazy shit. You're like, wait a minute, you can't. And the guy's like, hey, people can't just go flying around the air like that. It's like, well, he goes, foul, 2 fouls. Like, that was a foul if he didn't touch anybody and he didn't establish a pivot foot. It's 2 points. Like, it's 2 points. He's like, all right, I'll allow it. So it's kind of like you in your video games. You're like, man, these maneuvers used to always kick ass. The cover fire, the combat rolls. Now it's just whoever can buy with their mom's credit card the best shotgun to my face.
Speaking of, because I was thinking what games I still would be wanting to play. I remember we talked over the summer about gaming Hail Marys, like our biggest wish list games or whatever. Mm-hmm. The other game I was talking about just announced a open beta after like 8 years. It's called Mountain Blade 2, Bannerlord. They just announced, I think it's an open beta coming out in 2020, and people thought that game was like dead. Like it wasn't going to happen.
Well, it probably was dead.
So I'm batting 1,000 right now. I got Devil May Cry 5, and I got Mountain Blade Bannerlord, whatever. So
you already know that it's going to go down to 750 because...
And Sans is in Smash. I call that too.
Yeah, it's going to go down to 750 because guess who's not in Smash?
What? Well, it's not done yet. Give it time.
It's done.
I know. I received a note from Sakurai, and he was like, dude, give it time. We're going to announce Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, and in tandem, we will announce Dante in Smash. I'm like, okay, well, you're going to make me look
There's
like
already
on my
Joker.
podcast.
He's similar to
Joker,
the demonic, gun-wielding, edgy guy.
It's too cool.
That's already fills the role.
No.
Yes.
How many
And
Fire
you're in
Emblem
denial
characters?
'cause I just
How
put
many
that on
Fire
you.
Emblem characters are there?
7 or 8.
They all play the same, except for like 2 of them.
No.
You got Corrin and you got
Robin's different.
Corrin and Robin, and then you have your Marths, your Ikes, your Lucias, your girl Marth, and that's Lucia.
That's Lucina.
And then you have the boy Lucina.
That's Marth.
That's Crom.
Well, Crom's her dad.
The dad Lucina,
Crom plays a mixture of Roy and Marth.
who plays just like Lucina and Roy and Ike. Ike is different a little bit.
Ike is different.
My point is there's room for Dante.
He just has a big-ass sword.
Point is there's room for Dante.
He's not room.
I was right about Sans. Sans is going to be in.
It's
And
so dumb. It's like, you actually have to pay for that. It's not like in the season pass or anything. You
whatever.
You have to pay $1 or whatever for that costume. I was like, really?
Toby Fox seems
I
like a
couldn't
good
save
guy.
a replay because I came back on this guy. He was dressed as Sans. I couldn't play a replay because I didn't have the costume. So I didn't have like the permission, I guess the rights to broadcast it.
That's a bummer.
I was pissed. Come on, Nintendo. We're better than that.
I forgot to tell you. So you know when, speaking of like Toby Fox, you know when Deltarune came out? I emailed him.
You know.
What?
You may not know this.
What?
But Deltarune is Undertale
Everyone knows
anagram.
this. Literally
It's an
everyone
anagram.
knows this. I remember I emailed Toby Fox when it first came out. Like, hey, dude, if you need any more help with anything, let me know. And he's like, thanks, but I think we're good. Like, okay, Toby, I'll be on standby.
I made Ben drown. I
have
credibility.
He knows. He quoted me back when Undertale like first came out. It was like September 10th, 2015. He had a tweet that says you shouldn't have done that. It was really cool. I was like on cloud 9.
Wait, what?
On his Twitter feed, Toby Fox.
Yeah,
right?
but he doesn't know it's you though.
No, I'm sure he doesn't know.
That's
I'm
what
sure
I'm
he
saying.
knows of Ben Drown. He doesn't know of me.
Because you're a loser. Ben
I'm just a
Drown's
fucking
cool.
loser. Yeah, Ben Drown, he's a Chad.
He's Chad.
He said he's a total Chad.
Cool.
According to all this fan
But
fiction.
what's his sexuality?
So
Does he like butt stuff? What's going on?
me and Luke were thinking about doing something a little bit different. Do you want to transition now, or do you?
Let's do it.
Okay. I'm going to doing something a little bit different, having a little bit of fun, just because, like victory lap. Luke's got married now. Had a lot of great accomplishments in the summer. He had a lot of fun this summer. So I figured we would do a little funsies, a little bit of a funsies episode today.
A little case of the fuck arounds.
A little bit of the fuckaroos. This may turn out to be really bad. We might edit it all out. But I thought it'd be kind of funny if we read some like Ben Drowned fan fiction.
Should get some sound buttons. Like those radio shows.
Hot 97 coming right at you. Hey man, we got the best Ben Drowned shit. Hey there, this is Alex in the editing room a few days later going over this podcast, and oh my god, this section is even raunchier than I remember. If you are playing this podcast out loud or in public and you enjoy our typical style of rough around the edges comedy, you might want to rethink cranking the volume on this one and kind of maybe keep it to yourself for the rest of this podcast. It is something else and not for everyone. It's very raunchy, very suggestive. I didn't really know at the time, but apparently the websites we used are notorious for having inappropriate Rule 34 stuff of just about any kind of fictional work, Ben and Drowned included, if you can believe that or not. As a result, we read some pretty mature themed stuff, but do our best to lighten the mood with awful voice acting, so please keep it in mind for the rest of the podcast. However, if you can stand it, this may actually be the funniest bit that we've done so far on the show. All right. So let's give this a shot. We'll see what happens. And
well,
we'll go from there. Okay, so
you go first here with this first one then.
Okay. Do you want to switch off every paragraph? Or...
No, this isn't middle school.
Well, I think it'd be funnier.
Popcorn Alex.
Okay, we'll do popcorn then. That's a good idea, Luke. So this one's called Ben Will Get Her. And I just took the first 3 that came up.
Oh, it's
when
actually
I searched for...
Will Ben Get Her?
Oh.
Dyslexic fuck.
Maybe, Jesus. So I figured we would take the first few that came up here. So I haven't really looked at these before. These could be terrible. And we may just stop these halfway through. So... the first one is called Will Ben Get Her by Time and Nature. And we're getting these off of fanfiction.net. So, what is this here? Is this like the...
I think the people who wrote the characters
maybe 4 authors?
Maybe these people on the website.
Okay, so we're having a little bit like a front here where it's like Olivia...
Twi'lek
Zem.
Crystal Younglink Zelda-fan 123.
Okay.
Sarah Emerald Grove Sage, and Lizzie, played by Skylink. I don't know.
Okay. All right, so I'll start us off here. Monday night. Ben has found a target. Jesus fucking Christ. Are you serious?
Sorry. It was like a tarantula in my throat or something.
You got to go see a doctor, man. What the hell is wrong with you?
Oh, it's a real medical condition.
All right. Monday night. Ben has found a target. A young girl named Olivia. From what Ben knows, Olivia will go out of her way to help anything and anybody in distress. Whether it be a human being or the tiniest bug alive. It made him sick. Wait. The tiniest bug alive, period. It made him sick. That's why she had to be kidnapped, tortured, and killed. Jesus Christ,
Damn.
man. Ben made a plan. That night, he executed it. He listened in on her conversations. She was sitting... I thought it said shitting.
She was shitting at her desk.
She was sitting at her desk, typing her novelization of Twilight Princess. Olivia's mother asked...
It's a forward thinker.
Do we do all the voice acting in this? I can just read it. Let's do that. So you'll do all the voice acting, and I'll just read the descriptive text, okay?
Sure.
So Olivia's mother asked...
Can you close the garage door for me, Olivia?
Sure, Mom, Olivia replied back and went to the garage.
I love how that's the first thing.
As she was about to close the door, she saw a silhouette of something small. This shape was very familiar. A closer look, it looked like the Elegy of Emptiness statue. It was too far away to see any features, but she could tell it was under the streetlight. God, am I dyslexic for real?
You either have bad eyesight, stupid, or dyslexia. I don't know which one
it's a combination of all three. It always worked, but that night, it wasn't working at all. She turned around and ran inside her house after slamming the garage door shut. She ran upstairs to her room to tell her sisters, Crystal and Sarah. She could only talk to them through text messages, but that was good enough. She told them of all that happened. Her sister, Crystal, was scared from the start.
Text messages. This is like an advanced Hyrule world.
I think this takes place in the real world.
Oh, okay.
Try and stay in the themes here, Luke, please. Thank you. You're ruining my immersion. Tuesday evening.
I thought it was the dyslexia.
Yeah, it could just be the dyslexia. Tuesday evening. It was about 5:30 in the evening. Olivia went to put the trash cans away. It was still daylight. She balanced on the curb like she always does and grabbed the trash cans. After she got them in the garage, she turned around to go inside. When she turned around, she saw the statue once again. She could see everything, but the eyes, because it was too far away, Okay, that was not my fault that time. There was a comma there.
She could see everything but the eyes because it was too far away.
Thank you.
Good job, Alex.
It was under the streetlight once again. A car came down the road and didn't see it and drove through it. That was it for Olivia. She ran inside, not looking back, and ran upstairs to text her sisters about it again. Crystal was saying that sometime she should go under the light post to see what will happen. Olivia agreed to. Sarah thought it was a bit foolish, but understood why she wanted to. Olivia was curious. Once she's curious, you can't stop her. That's
Freight train?
Yeah, right. That is something Ben also learned about her. Wednesday morning. Olivia went on her way to school that morning. She decided to try walking underneath the light post, and so she did. Nothing happened, so she continued on. After a few steps of walking, she felt like she was being followed and turned around. She saw nothing following her, so she continued on.
Oh my God.
Every so often, she'd turn around and look over her shoulder to see if anyone was following her. She was texting her sister, Crystal, to give her updates. Once Olivia was near the crosswalk, her phone shut off, even though the night before it was full battery. Ben was close to getting her. He just had to grab her, but he wasn't able to quite get her. She was lucky this time around.
Reminder, it's a 12-year-old.
That afternoon.
Very rapey.
Yeah, I kind of got that vibe too. It's weird. That afternoon. Since Olivia couldn't text Crystal, Crystal was very scared and worried. Olivia got home and plugged her phone in just as Crystal called. Olivia got home and plugged in her phone just as Crystal called her.
Hello?
Oh my God, you're alive. I was so scared that Ben got you.
Oh, sorry, Oni-chan. My phone died, so I couldn't text you.
Avi? Avi, please, don't go under that light post again. I thought I lost you.
Okay, Oni-chan, I won't.
This is actually written, Oni-chan.
It says Oni-chan.
This is legit. You'd better not, woman. I better get off before I get... Wait, what? I thought this was like one of like the PG-13 ones. I don't like the fucking...
I think he's talking about just getting off the phone, not getting off, you fucking...
I'm on my lunch break. I better get off before I get in trouble.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Yeah, just like, okay. Have fun getting off.
They hung up and texted each other.
Oh, your voice.
Tell me more about Ben. Olivia admitting that she went under the lamppost and said she felt dizzy when she did. Crystal said for her not to go under the lamppost again. Olivia said she wouldn't, but she soon would. Her curiosity was coming back again. Thursday.
Jesus Christ.
Today was the day that Elizabeth was coming back to school. She was one of Olivia's sisters. Lizzie was sick with a minor stomach flu, but was well enough to come to school. They usually hung out at Olivia's house after school. This time, Lizzie was making sure Olivia didn't try to go under that post again. It's fucking post, man.
Damn it.
I
Don't
hate
go on that fucking post. You know better.
If only she knew what would happen that night. Olivia's parents went out to get her dad's iPad from his work and then stopped at McDonald's.
It's usually what I do before I get my sausage, egg, McGriddles.
Leaving the two girls alone, Lizzie went to the bathroom, but Olivia took this chance to lock her in the bathroom. What a bitch. Olivia.
The first people that wrote this are like, they're fucking up my story.
We're getting like an angry email. Excuse me, can you try and reread that again a little bit more seriously?
It's like, I put my heart in it. It's like the other guys. You come to my house, you get my wife's name right.
Okay. Olivia went outside and saw Ben under the streetlight. She walked up to him and just sat down.
I lost where the fuck you're at.
What do we got right here?
Oh. You've got guts to come out here and just sit in front of me like that.
I'm not afraid of you, Ben.
I can tell you're afraid on the inside. But I guess I'll let you go this time. Next time, you may not be so lucky.
Whatever. Olivia stood up and walked back inside. She locked the bathroom door and Lizzie walked out. Lizzie hugged her so strongly it could have broken Olivia's back. After they were done hugging, Lizzie slapped her hard on her cheek.
Don't ever scare us like that again, Olivia. You scared us so bad, I wouldn't be surprised if Crystal was crying.
Lizzie then calmed down.
Please, Olivia, don't scare us like that. We couldn't bear to lose you. You're our little sister.
Okay, Lizzie. They watched Ridiculousness. Is that a show?
That's the Rob Dyrdek, like Tosh by No spinoff. Yeah.
Never seen it. They watched that show for the rest of the night.
God bless you. It's really long and it's terrible.
Oh my God, Luke, come on. I'm sure they're like
if you quizzed me right now and said what is going on in the story, I couldn't tell you. I would say yes, Ben drowned is a part of it, and there's a light post.
There's a light post. Don't walk under it. Fuck Olivia, Jesus.
That dumb bitch deserves to die then. Just keeps going fucking underneath it. All right, let's go for a little shorter one. Ooh, I like this title.
Okay.
Lemon Book Redo, warning mature.
Okay, so...
I don't know if we're mature enough.
I don't know. All right, so we are going on Wattpad.com, and there is a section called Ben Drowned, and in that section there is a short story of Ben Drowned Lemon Book Redo, warning mature. The description is, I have no idea, XD, enjoy my savages.
It's a smiley face, excited face.
I see.
Hashtag 7 minutes in heaven, baby.
It's the hashtag Ben Drowned.
Hashtag mature. Ooh, it's got a pretty good following. Got 900 views.
It does. Okay, so let's go ahead, and this is like the foreword by the author. Hello, it's Rachel. Now, you most likely saw my first post, and I'm still pissed. I'm rewriting everything, so if I get something wrong, I'm sorry. Enjoy my savages. And you're welcome for dat song. Okay, do you want to start, or did you want me to start?
I guess I'll give it a crack. Here we go.
Okay, sure.
You ran into your house crying. Your boyfriend dumped you for the hoe you hated. God,
Relatable.
You then flopped onto your bed crying like a wild animal until you looked over and saw a bag. You wiped your tears. Jesus, I don't know how to spell, lady. And went to go and check it. It had no card, no note. You shrugged and opened the bag, keeping all the tissue paper in one piece for later. Aw, sweetie, give me a hug. Your eyes lit up in excitement. All the disgusting tears flew away as you grabbed what you got and ran to your TV. You got Majora's Mask. Your favorite game of all time. Your friend let you play it once, and you loved it. You fired up your N64 as you put it in the game. You squealed as it loaded. You then heard a loud chuckle. You looked around, then shrugged it off. As soon as the game started, it bugged out and glitched. Your happiness slowly turned into sadness once again. You looked away at the screen until you felt something wet around your thighs. Wet like a pussy. I'm sorry. That's really what she says. She says right there with the Senpai logo, R.I.P. Etika. You looked up in fear as a human.
God bless you, Etika.
You blessed us with the Senpai. You looked up in fear as a human-like figure crawled. Sorry, there's Alex rubbing off me. You looked up in fear as a human-like figure crawled out of your screen.
What are you trying to say, Luke? Oh. Hey there, sexy. I'm Ben.
That Ben sounds like he's a 10-foot cock. I'm not gonna lie. Hey!
Hey!
Who there? It's like a genie in a lamp. Who there puts my cartridge in?
Who the fuck is there?
I was beaten off. God damn it.
The other one's like, I gotta get off soon. I can't.
Okay.
Right. You're right there.
Okay. He said as he got out and was holding your hips.
Jesus.
You blushed at his nickname for you.
My name's YN. What? My name is... What?
You slightly stuttered. I mean, your favorite creepypasta is right in front of you, and he called you sexy.
I knew I was your favorite.
Ben chuckled as he put his hand up my shirt.
They're switching from like the first person. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going or?
I thought you're scrolling. So I jumped at his touch. His fingers are fucking cold.
What are you gonna do to me? Wait, is that?
That must be John drowned. It's a different guy. This is his cousin. You guys order a plumber? No.
John suffocated. Huh?
John suffocated.
All right, come on. We got to hold this together.
Oh, it's punny. Okay. I'm pretty sure you're up, though. That's the thing.
Oh.
I say put on your shirt or whatever. There you go.
Well, I didn't come out of your fucking TV for nothing.
No. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fingers
right?
cold. What are you going to do to me? You ask, trying to hold a moan as he massaged your breast under your shirt.
Well, I didn't come out of your fucking TV for nothing, you dumb bitch. Wait, that one.
He whispered as he whispered. He whispered as he used magic to put you on your bed. He then climbed on top of you and bit and sucked on your neck, trying to find your sweet spot. You moaned loudly as he bit on a place you liked. He bit on it till it became red as if he was claiming his territory. He pulls off your shirt and unstraps your bra. I feel like someone could context this, take this clip, and be like, okay, weirdo on the air. Okay. You gasp and cover yourself.
You can't have these until you undress. Ah, Jesus. Okay, so this goes on.
That's the woman saying that. You say sexually. You wink as Ben chuckles. Ben then pulled off his shirt and pulled down his pants. Come on. Showing his green boxers. Damn, Ben matches with everything.
Yeah, I'm a matching master.
That's what I say when when I'm going into the mood. I can't continue until someone gives me that opening to say that I'm a matching master.
Oh my God.
Okay, we're not shutting this off. We're halfway.
Come on, dude.
This is fucking hilarious.
This is getting pretty rough.
It's fucking hilarious.
Oh,
dude, you scroll too fast.
I know I did. It just...
Okay. Ben says, winking. You laugh as Ben read your mind. Ben then took the opportunity to lick and suck on one of your nubs until they weren't covered.
Nubs?
See if his arm cut off? See, this is why you got to continue the story. You don't know what's going to happen.
Okay.
Plot twist.
I'm going to have to look back.
Tarantino.
Just make sure this is not some weird shit.
You're a virgin, so you never knew how this felt. You moaned. He twisted and pinched the other one.
We're going to get kicked out of here. I feel like
you've got two nubs now. So we've write that down. We got two nubs. You then pulled down your shorts, revealing your green undies. We're in too deep. We're almost there.
Oh, yeah. I need this.
Where'd it go? Okay. Jesus Christ, how does this goddamn mouse. Okay, that's so much easier. There you go. Revealing your green undies. Wow, what a coincidence. Haha, I'll leave now. So she also has green undies as well. Ben chuckled as he kissed you. You broke the kiss after Ben won the tongue war.
I'm a virgin, so be careful.
You say, not knowing the pain that might be coming towards you.
Don't worry, I will be gentle.
What is this, like a Siri talking to us?
Turn left here.
I always thought, that's why I changed my girl to Australian. Or English. It's so much nicer.
Yeah.
At the next light, turn left. Americans like, at the next light, turn left.
Turn left now.
God damn. Up. We're almost there. You picked this one.
I didn't know what was in it.
Okay. Don't be gentle. Okay. Says he pulls down his boxers, then pulling down your panties. You sat on his lap, putting your face on his shoulder as he inserted himself into you. The pain was unbearable. She literally writes, bear pun. Kill me, I'm tired.
How is it a pun?
Unbearable?
But there's no bear involved. How is that a pun?
You
have to have something else.
But
you can't just say a word.
She literally wrote it wrong, too, though. It's not spelled right.
Oh, my God.
You almost pulled out till Ben pushed you back down, causing more fucking pain.
Ben, it hurts.
You barely get out as Ben stroked your hair.
I know it will stop soon, though.
Said as he let you get used to his size. I told you to get a 10-foot gun.
Oh, my God.
Ben then got uncomfortable and he moved slightly, getting a big moan from you. You covered your mouth in embarrassment as Ben laughed. He then thrust it again, wanting to hear that sound again. You were moving like crazy, like you hit a spot you liked.
Ah, right there.
You yell as Ben smirked.
Where? Here?
Was All Might coming? I am here.
Plus Ultra!
Oh, God. Ben says, thrusting in the same place.
Fucking there.
I listened to the little Einstein's air horn edition writing this part.
Who's writing this fucking story? Fucking there.
You say as Ben keeps hitting the spot, but then you were a moaning mess. You and Ben then released at the same time. I'm just going through it. Ben pulled out and said,
Well, I gotta go before my boss yells at me.
as he used magic.
What's this?
As he used magic to get his clothes on. Was he Piccolo with the clothes beam? Just.
Clothes beam.
I could take it off like a normal human, but we'll put it on with my beams. He then goes through your TV and you look down at your entrance.
Well, he didn't wear a condom.
You say as you see his seed spill slightly out of your entrance.
Well, I'ma have elf babies.
Yes, I finally finished it. Again, I'm so sorry about the other book. I don't know why Wattpad did this to me. I don't know why you did this to anyone on Wattpad. If it happens again, I'm a find a way to contact Wattpad. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my savages, and I'll see you next time.
I am so sorry for making Ben drown.
Yeah, you should. What would you put on the internet?
I didn't like. I was never my intention for this to get out.
This is by Rachel Bites Boo 288.
This is supposed to be just a fun story and a little scary. Not meant to be weird and rapey, which I've noticed that like with the other creepypasta stuff too. It's like the Slender Man, because on the last podcast on the left they do read creepypasta stuff.
Yeah.
And it's always like not entirely consensual sex. And it makes me feel really weird.
Fucking weird, dude.
Jesus.
We do not condone.
I don't sign off on this.
This was not the author's intent.
Let's see if we can end the night on
with
something.
a normal like spin-off.
A nice,
like,
wholesome spin-off.
Maybe like the shopkeeper got infected or something different. You know, not Ben getting his nut off again. It's like,
again.
This is a serial rapist now. He's like, you know what? I didn't get them with the game thing. I'm just gonna go around fucking people.
Been drowned.
I've grown up a little bit since I've died.
I'm a man now, not a kid.
It's like those bad movies, like Sharknado. Been drowned again in pussy.
Been drowned in bitches. Oh God, I'm like, I feel like I'm blushing. That was rough, man.
Some guy that's listening to this is like, oh, been drowned in bitches.
Bitches. Here's that.
That's the next pasta. I'll get on the podcast. This is all you, my friend.
This will be a nice. I think the setting sounds okay. Okay, so this one's called "A Killer Becomes a Protector."
Okay.
By Coco Crow. He's a killer. She's a neat. He loves to play games. She likes playing games. He lives in a game. She lives in a dark room. By fate they met. Now he's the hunter and she's the prey.
Okay.
But when did the hunter become a protector to his prey? What? I don't own any pictures or any of the creepypastas. They all belong to their full rightful owners.
It's this guy.
I only own my OCs and the plot line.
Well, yeah, we haven't read it yet, but I can guarantee we do not want your plot line.
No, we're good. All right. Do you want to start?
Yeah, you got it.
Do you want me to read the
I just read sex.
Okay. Yeah, you did. All right. Oh, dear lordy, why does everything feel so hot? Coco thought, slowly opening her orange and blue eyes. The first thing that came to her mind was a sudden pain spreading across her body. Wincing, Coco slowly stood up and taking... Okay. Wincing, Coco slowly stood up, taking in her surrounding area. The whole area had that orange-red look to it, with fallen temples parts scattered all over the place. Coco looked around, noticing that she was in some kind of cave. This isn't right. Why am I here? Are you in a...
I said Zubat cave. But go ahead. But Zubat.
Hey, this isn't right. Why am I here? Coco thought, wiping the sweat that was rolling down his face.
This white chick, fucking black guy behind her. Hey, we all motherfucker. All right.
Breathing became hard when the temperature grew. The ground began to shake, cause Coco... I promise you.
I see it too.
You see it, right? I'm not fucking
Let's just edit our work, please, before we upload it.
The ground began to shake, causing Coco to lose her balance, falling down on her bottom. I already do not like where this is going. Rumbles of rock fell down, destroying more pieces of the temples around her. A rough hand grabbed her arm. automatically making Coco to snap her head at that person. A teenage boy no older than 14,
Jesus, you put down the... Okay, now there's cold hard facts that he's 14.
Oh, shit. I mean, according to this story...
Yeah, we don't know what's going on here.
It's his OC, okay?
Okay.
A teenage boy no older than 14, having blonde hair, pointy elf ear, and wearing an outfit similar to Link from Legend of Zelda. But what struck her the most was his eyes. The boy seemed to be missing his eyes as red tears of blood came out of the eye socket. But Coco was able to make out a red pupil in the blackness of his eyes. Hey, Coco, you all right?
Is it Joe Swanson? Hey, Coco.
Hey, Coco. Hey, Coco.
You all right?
Are you all right? Got a 10-inch penis.
Hey, Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Oh, God! It's like...
The boy said, pulling her back up to her feet. Coco nodded her head, giving the boy a small smile. I'm fine, Ben. I was startled by the sudden shake in the ground. I'm going to read the errors just as they are. I'm not even saying
how the fuck does she know his name?
Go
ahead.
Ben? What? She knew this strange boy. Ah, now I remember. Ben is my only friend. How could she forget about him? That's a good question. This boy was the only company she had ever had since her father and little brother passed away in the fire. Ben once again turned to face in relief. He nodded his head, letting go of Coco's arm. That's good. I was worried there for a second when Heket launched his attack at that. Oh, this is some Dragon Ball Z shit. Okay, I can get behind this. That blast hit you pretty hard. That would explain the pain in her body. But who the heck was this Heket? The ground began to shake, and the big hole at the center of the fallen town shot out in a big burst of flames. Is coming! Ben yelled, taking out his sword as Coco brought out her needle shurikens, both getting in a fighting position. This is like...
It's Naruto.
I'm into this. I much prefer this over the fucking awful smut that we just read. Wait, where did this needles come from? The flames exploded as a loud growl echoed throughout the cave. Before them was the very creature that they had to fight. The 8 red eyes glared down at them, letting out a loud howl, making them wince in pain. The creature floated in the air before striking at the 2 at fast speed.
Red Eyes Black Dragon, here it comes.
Here it comes!
Now we have to fill. There's a space there we got filled up with Dragon Ball Z filler.
It's so fast!
Next time!
Knocking sounds echo throughout the small dark bedroom, save for the small bright light emitting from the computer on the desk. A lone girl with short black hair wearing an oversized black jacket resting her head on her arms, breathing softly.
It's a very, like, you were hyping that up, like, okay, and it's like, and she was just sitting there.
And she was kind of sleeping.
That's great.
The knocking sound echoes again, causing the girl to stir from her sleep. Her heterochromia eyes slowly opened before closing a sec. The girl sat up in her seat, stretching, sighing in relief when some of her bones cracked. The girl looked at her computer screen, seeing the same anime, Sword Art Online, was being played on the screen. The girl, orange and blue eyes with huge bags under them, stared tiredly at the screen. I must have fallen asleep, the girl mumbled. A light knocking sound at her door, followed by a woman's voice. Coco, the woman said, pausing for a bit. Coco looked over her door, blinking. Yes, mother, Coco responded. Dinner is ready. Why don't you come down and eat with me and Joan? Coco's eyes twitched at the mention of her stepfather's name. It's not like she hated him or anything. She just doesn't like the fact that some man came into their life with taking the role from her original father away from her. And she didn't like it. And in case you couldn't tell, she didn't like it.
She did not like that one.
And she didn't like it. I'm not hungry, was Coco's reply, turning her back to the computer, pulling up some game and began playing. Mm-hmm. But dear, you haven't eaten in 2 days. Please just eat with us, her mother pleaded. I'm not hungry, mate, Coco repeated, raising her voice a little bit. A sigh was heard from the other side of the door. Coco, I just wish you would come out. It's been 3 years already. When will you move on? Coco didn't bother to reply. Instead, she continued playing her game, and I'm putting the food in front of your door in case you get hungry. What? Okay. I'm just going with it.
She's not answering the door.
I get it.
So
yeah. Coco heard her mother putting something on the floor before walking away. Her hands paused halfway up on the keyboard. Soon her pale hands fell into her lap as she looked up to the ceiling, closing her eyes. A small ding came from the computer. Looking back over her computer, seeing that her game had been exited out of off and was replaced by Cleverbot. You guys need to spell check and just have a proofreader. Just someone. Just like your brother, your mom. Look through some of this shit.
Yourself, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, just look over it.
Cleverbot says, "What's the matter?" Coco stared at the text for a minute before looking out of the corner of her eyes. "Well, it's nothing," she said, knowing that her computer heard her loud and clear. "Why don't you eat?" "I'm not hungry," Coco grumbled.
Was it Shrek?
"Get out of my swamp." "Please eat, Coco.
Have layers."
I'm starting to get worried for your health." A deep sigh went through her nose. "If I eat you, will you stop bugging me, Ben?" Ben, some kind of virus that entered her life when she got this Legend of Zelda game for Christmas before she became a NEET.
What is a NEET?
A NEET. Let's look up a NEET.
What the hell is it? NEET.
They've said that a few times now.
Just a bunch of viruses pop up. Oh, shit.
NEET is an acronym that stands for Not in Education, Employment, or Training. It refers to a person who is unemployed, not in school, or vocational training.
Could just said listless, but whatever.
Well, it's not what the hip kids are saying these days. Okay. All right. The virus had been hunting her, giving her horrid dreams, mess with her life. But this is killing me here. But when a fire had claimed 2 important people from her, the virus known has been slowly stop his little game. "No promise." A small smirk crept up onto her pale face. "Fine," she said, getting up from her chair. Her long, pale legs touched the cold, hard wood floor, sending chills down her spine. Coco pulled down her jacket, covering her white pants.
Just had to add that in there.
Just had to throw that in there. Didn't
Could
you?
just said she pulled her jacket on.
Yeah. Coco pulled down her jacket, covering her white panties before heading over. Is everyone who likes this a pervert? Like, that's my biggest question right now. Like, what have I done?
You're like the creator of Tumblr. Okay, the guy wanted to
Or
make
like
a...
My Little Pony or something. It's like,
yeah.
this is a happy thing for kids to enjoy. And then all these, like, dirty fucking, like, 20-year-olds are like, yeah, tell me more about how big Ben's dick is. Like, this is not my intention at all. All right.
Oh, it's just the guy's like, it's going to be a good platform so everyone can share their great blogs and news articles and black cock. What the fuck? And now there's My Little Pony.
There you go.
God damn it.
All right. Well, opening the door, she looks down, seeing a small bowl of chicken soup and glass water sitting on a tray. Yes, a tray, not a tray. Small grumbles escaped through her stomach, and when she inhaled the smell of the food, causing a small blush to appear on her face. She's embarrassed by the food. Coco picked up the tray, closing the door, and headed back over to her desk. "Happy now," Coco grumbled, eating the food. Cleverbot. Yes, I am. Coco let out a small grunt. Ugh. "You want to talk about it?" Coco knew what he meant by that. 6 weeks ago, she'd been having strange dreams, just like the one she had not too long ago. These dreams started causing her sleep less and eat less. In fact, she had been up for 5 days straight. I'm going to look back editing on this and be like, dude, what? I can't even follow this. I said it. Each dream is different. Very rare they would pick up where the other one left off. Okay.
We're just gonna... I'm sure at the end, Ben gives her a good rogering and calls it a
I'm
day.
sure it ends with some kind of non-consensual sex. So this is great. Thank you for sharing, Coco Crow.
We will definitely be not doing this.
Yep, this is probably the once and only time we'll be reading Ben Drown fanfiction. I am glad that the sweet release of the phone death has released me from the duty to finish this fucking
for
thing off.
reactions.
Holy shit. Okay. I definitely have learned more about my character. I have learned more about the horror that I unleashed onto the internet.
Not to mention the whore.
The horror.
The man whore.
He gets around a lot. You know, it's really funny how you describe this thing, you create this thing as a almost genderless. His gender isn't even really relevant.
Just that his name is Ben.
Entity. I had to pick a name. I picked Ben. And you kind of put him as this ghost, as a statue. Completely unfuckable. Or so you thought. So you hoped. So you prayed. It's
I
disappointing.
like to get on top of the pointy hat.
I guess.
Give
I
it a
guess
little ride.
technically. All right.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't. Watch this one. You shouldn't have done that.
Nice. Nice. He said it. He said the thing, you guys.
Yeah, I did it.
All right. Well, if you're still listening,
Thank you.
yeah, God bless you.
God
I mean,
bless
you probably should hang on to you guys because clearly you'll listen to fucking anything. So,
Jesus Christ.
while you're there, be sure to go on iTunes and, give us a fair rating. Try and take like the aggregate of what you've heard from the Digital Fireside, not just this episode.
Yeah.
Try and just kind of say, oh, I like this episode may not have been the best, but maybe we could listen to the other stuff that's more wholesome and not rapey and not.
But this was a good time.
This was a good time. This was a good time nonetheless.
It was a good time.
This was a good time.
It was a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time.
It was a good time.
So,
Like, share, and subscribe. Yes, we can.
thank you, Mr. President.
It's former.
Right. Well, sorry.
We've got to do a better job.
All right. If you have any questions, you can write in at contact@thedigitalfireside.com. Please stop sending me requests to read fan fiction. We've done it, unless it's really good. Unless it's like
And it's kind of condensed.
and it's kind of condensed. Like we'll have to
those shits
summarize
are long
this.
as fuck.
They draw on.
Yeah.
And
The build-up is what gets most of the...
yeah,
Jesus.
try and leave Ben's cock out of it. So
You said... You just triggered them. Leave Ben's cock out.
saying.
No,
Jesus.
like leave Ben's cock out.
no.
Oh, I thought you meant...
No. All right. Okay.
Well, let me be clear.
What?
Leave Ben's cock out of this. Not Bill Clinton.
Luke, where can people find you on social media?
Indie Chubbs. At Indie Chubbs on Twitter and Instagram.
That's with 2 B's, by the way.
That's with 2 B's, like Big Ben Dick.
Oh, come on.
Too big.
All right.
But
And
yeah, that's the 2. What about you, Alexander?
you can find me at Alexander D. Hall on Twitter and Facebook.
D as in Dick for
I
Ben.
hate this idea. I wish we never did it. Tune in next time for a more wholesome episode. Thank you for your patronage.
Thank you.